It's time to do just that. Dominate the narrative. Flood the zone.
All right, I need you to pay close attention here, because what you're about to hear is Democrats flat out saying the quiet part out loud. And make no mistake, this isn't about law, it's not about fairness. And it sure isn't about protecting democracy. This is about raw power grabs and total narrative control. Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are out here playing dictatorial training while pretending they care about the people, the media. They're not holding them accountable. Instead, they're mocking Trump with fake tweets, clown skits, and cheap laughs while ignoring the real problems: crime skyrocketing, families crushed by inflation, and whole neighborhoods turning into homeless camps. And if that wasn't enough, you've got fearmongers screeching that Trump is going to crown himself king in 2028. Folks, this isn't politics anymore. This is delusion turned into strategy. And by the time we're done, you'll see just how far gone these people really are. Let's roll the first clip.
There's literally no more evidence than you need, than the evidence that has been submitted in the first 6.5, 7 months of the Trump administration. And you think this is going to get better? You think if we just say, well, Mr. Trump, it's fine. We know it's a race to the bottom. You may call upon those other states. Can you just do 5 and California will stand down?
Yeah.
God damn it, enough.
Yeah.
Democrats, stop being weak. Step up. These guys have been dominating the narrative. They have been defining the terms of the debate. It's time to get on our off our heels, onto our front toes. It's time to do just that. Dominate the narrative, flood the zone, and surround sound. It's time for us to all band together.
Now let's talk about this phrase they love to throw around: dominate the narrative. You hear that garbage, flood the zone, surround sound, excuse me. But that's not democracy. That's straight out of the propaganda playbook from regimes like Communist China. And who's been running that play here? Gavin Newsom, Mr. Hair Gel himself, spends more time obsessing over CNN appearances and narrative spin than he does fixing the filthy sidewalks, shuttered businesses, and collapsing infrastructure in his own state. And don't get me started on Karen Bass. She's out here preaching compassion for illegal immigrants while her own city is drowning in tense needles and lawlessness. They're obsessed with controlling the story, because if people actually looked at the results of their policies, they'd be thrown out of office tomorrow. But it doesn't stop there, because the next clip shows just how far they're willing to go. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore.
It's the rule of dawn, no longer the rule of law. And people need to understand the lines that are being redrawn in Texas are not about party, they're about power. And you've got to meet fire with fire, and power needs to be asserted in blue states, not just red states. Our state of mind has to be more firm, more resolved, and more...
Let's talk about this new slogan: fire with fire in blue states, the rule of dawn, not the rule of law. Are you kidding me? That's not a slip, that's the plan. Toss out the law, redraw the rules, and justify it all with rage. Translation: forget the voters, forget the Constitution. It's power at any cost. And of course, leading the charge is Gavin Newsom, the same guy who can't even keep the lights on in California during heat waves, is now trying to lecture the entire country about power. Right behind him is Karen Bass, bending over backwards to protect people who broke the law to get here, while legal citizens live in conditions that resemble the third world. These people don't have answers, they don't have solutions, they don't even have policies that work. What they have is arrogance, rage, and spin. And when they're not shouting about power grabs, they turn into wannabe comedians mocking Trump with nonsense. Watch this joke of a clip.
A tweet here.
Which one's this?
This is, well, what I would love is to have you read this in your voice. If you'd like to just take a shot at it.
Well, I mean, wow. Tomorrow history will be made. Now, I'm not going to be as effectively as the person that you may recognize is on True Social, but in this case, we push this out on Twitter. Caroline Levitt will have no answers.
Well, hold on. I don't want you to breeze right through the brilliant. Go on. It's not just Caroline Levitt.
Caroline
Levitt. That's right.
No answers for the supposed fake media about California's beautiful, big, beautiful maps. People are saying that we're the greatest maps. They're just saying this. They are, Brian. People are saying they're greatest maps.
Many people have heard that.
Ever created. Even better than Christopher Columbus's. Donald DeFeo, Trump, be warned that tomorrow may be the worst day of your life, all because you missed the deadline. He misses a lot of deadlines. Liberation Day for America, GCN. I should have said thank you for for your attention to this matter.
Now let's talk about the fake Trump tweets and the mockery. What even is this reading made-up Trump tweets like it's amateur night at a comedy club? Carolyn Levitt, this Columbus maps that it's not news, it's a clown show. Meanwhile, Karen Bay City looks like a zombie apocalypse, and Gavin Newsom's California is bleeding residents to Texas and Florida in record numbers. And what do? They laugh on television like it's all a joke. Hey, Newsom, hey, Base, how about fixing your broken cities instead of putting on a stand-up routine for cable news, because nobody in Los Angeles or San Francisco is laughing when they're dodging criminals, stepping over syringes, or getting priced out of their homes. This isn't leadership, it's arrogance mixed with stupidity. And after they're done mocking, you know what comes next? Pure hysteria. Get ready for the fear-mongering circus.
America, wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to him. The most corrupt president in history. Doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy. He's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's...
Wake up, America. You won't have a country if Trump rigs the election, blah, blah, blah. You hear the desperation dripping from every word these people actually think screaming into a microphone is a political strategy. They're pretending Trump is planning to run for a third term. That's not journalism, that's a fever dream. Meanwhile, back in reality, Karen Bass has literally opened the floodgates for illegal immigration in Los Angeles. Gavin Newsom is handing out taxpayer money like candy, while Californians can't afford groceries or rent. But do they scream about that? No, they don't scream about fentanyl flooding in, about kids being trafficked, or about working families getting crushed. No, the only monster under their bed is Donald Trump. It's pathetic. Fear is all they have left. And if you think this meltdown is bad, wait until you see the last clip. They're so desperate, they'll point to literally anything and scream authoritarian.
Well, I think it's pretty sick and pathetic. And it just said everything you need to know, the setting that we're under. That they chose the time, manner, and place to send their district director outside right when we're about to have this press conference. Said everything you know about Donald Trump's America. And that was top down. You know that for a fact. They'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. Said everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States.
And here is the big Finnish authoritarian spin. Are you for real? Let me get this straight. A staffer shows up outside during a press conference, and suddenly that's proof Trump is a dictator. That's their smoking gun. Pathetic. You want to see what authoritarian really looks like? It looks like Gavin Newsom locking down millions of Californians while he dines at the French Laundry. It looks like Karen Bass funneling city resources to illegal immigrants while telling tax-paying citizens to just be patient. That's abuse of power. That's authoritarianism. But because Trump breathes, because Trump exists, they scream dictator. No facts, no logic, just projection. And when you put all of this together, what do you see? Democrats and their media lapdogs openly admitting they want to dominate the narrative because their policies fail Newsom, and Bass clinging to power, while their states and cities rot media clowns mocking Trump instead of reporting on corruption, fearmongers crying dictatorship while they run there. Own cities like banana republics. Folks, this isn't leadership, it's delusion, it's incompetence, it's a complete lack of common sense. And if Newsom or Bass had one shred of honesty, they'd admit their policies have failed, but they won't because lying distracting and keeping you afraid is easier than facing reality. Don't fall for it. Wake up.